I knew it was you, and I knew you'd come back, although I wasn't sure.
I've killed him.
What?
That's why I came back to you. I couldn't think what else to do. Now we're both murderers.
Felix? I'm going to have to call an ambulance.
What?
Look, I'd love him to be dead. Not if it means you being arrested for murder. Come on, Richard. You've got to do something. What about Elizabeth? I mean, won't she be worried? He doesn't usually stay out all night, does he? Look, Richard, you're going to have to give me his address. I won't mention any names. I'll just say there's been an accident and ring off, all right?
He was such a bastard.
I know. Where's the flat?
I nearly rang you. Felix hasn't come home. Oh, God, it's bad news, isn't it? Something's happened to him.
Don't panic, it's all right.
What does it tell me?
Well, he and Richard had a bit of a row, and Richard hit him. But don't worry, I've called an ambulance.
Ambulance? What, is he badly hurt? What do you mean Richard hit him?
Just keep calm.
I don't understand what happened. Christ, where is he? I've got to be with him.
Please don't worry, it may not be serious.
But you said ambulance.
Well, just to be on the safe side, he bashed his head on the edge of the fireplace.
That is serious. Look, when did all this happen? Where were they?
Where Felix works.
I don't know where that is. I've never known.
Come on, sit down. Here, sit down. It's all right, it's all right. Look, he's going to be fine. It's just a little bump on the head, that's all.
Have you seen him?
No.
Then how can you tell? Oh, God, I want to be with him.
Look, I'll just ring the hospital and see if he's arrived, and then I'll drive you straight there.
Why did Richard hit him? Well, I knew that we're having dinner together. Felix rang me earlier. I didn't worry. I've been asleep.
Oh, hello. Felix Kramer was brought to you by ambulance just now. Can you tell me if he's arrived, please?
What is all this about? There's something you're not telling me. First, Richard leaves you, and now he hurts Felix. Just what is going on? Helen, you've got to tell me the truth.
Oh, can you tell me how he is? Oh, I see. All right. Thanks.
You should have let me talk to them.
They don't know anything about it yet. He's only just arrived.
Have you been having an affair with Felix?
No, I certainly have not.
I don't want you to drive me there. I'll drive myself.
I'm very sorry.
There must be something you can do.
We're doing everything we can, but it's early days yet. Look, I realize you've had a terrible shock, but I won't be helping you if I pretend it's not serious. He's got a very nasty head injury. He could be unconscious for quite some time.
How long?
Well, that's hard to tell. It could be hours. It could be days.
Days?
Is he a heavy drinker?
No. Well, it depends. I suppose we both drink a lot of wine. Yes. I never really thought of it like that.
He seems to have had quite a bit tonight, which doesn't help. We'll know more when we've done a scan. Look, why don't you come back in the morning, have a quick look at him now, and then go home and get some rest?
He's not in any real danger, is he?
Frankly, it could go either way. But at the moment, he's stable, and we've got him on half-hourly observation. If there was any immediate danger, I'd tell you, of course, and you could stay. We'll phone you at once if there's any change.
Can I see him now?
Yes, of course.
Will you read over these notes, Mr. Murray, and sign them as a true record of this interview?
I'm sorry, I can't seem to take it all in.
Just initial your replies if they're correct and sign the bottom of each page.
Yes, of course. I ought to know the routine by heart. It's funny, I never thought this could happen to me.
You sure you don't want to see a solicitor, sir? You know you have a right to do that.
No, I just want to go to sleep.
Do you want anyone informed of your whereabouts?
No, I don't think so.
Not even your wife?
Don't think I've got a wife. Maybe I've got two, only they're both ex. No way. I'm not really sure.
How about letting someone know at the office?
I'd just like to vanish off the face of the earth if you really want to know. There, I'm sure that's all in order.
How is he? There's no change. Just a little bit longer.
Oh, hello. May I speak to Marion Hartley, please? It's Helen Murray and it's urgent. Hello? I'm sorry to bother you so early, Marion, but is Richard there? Well, I'm worried about him. Look, this is difficult to explain, but last night he had a fight with an old friend, and I had to get an ambulance for the old friend, and now he's disappeared, and I don't know what to do. He may be in quite a state, and I think it's dangerous to do nothing. Yes, well, you know them better than I do. I mean, perhaps you could talk to them or sort it out or play it down or whatever. I don't want things to get any worse than they really are.
You should be thankful he's not dead.
I told them I don't want a solicitor.
Well, tough. You've got to have someone to represent you in court. They'll have to charge you in 36 hours, they'll let you go, and they're not going to let you go while your chum is still unconscious.
Is he going to die?
Who knows? If he does, they can do you for manslaughter.
Why not? I wanted to kill him.
I hope you haven't said that to them. Have you? Listen, this is serious. At the very least, they've got you for assault with intent.
It was very kind of Marion to send you along.
She didn't send me. She asked me to come. I had to rearrange my day and put off several other clients to fit you in. It's extremely inconvenient, so I hope you're going to be cooperative.
Yeah, well, you needn't have bothered. I'm guilty, whatever they charge me with.
But I have to know. Where is he? Has he gone back to her? A lot can happen in a week. I can't just sit here. I must find out.
Absolutely not, Mum. I'm not phoning that wretched woman again.
Don't look at me, I'm too young.
Don't call her a woman because she's a cow. And I think that we are both very hard-hearted. Don't you care that I'm suffering?
Of course we care, but you do it so often we run out of steam. Oh, honestly, you're not phoning the poor woman.
Not. I have other ways to find out. I'm not as stupid as you think. Hello, can I speak to Richard Murray? It's his wife.
Oh, Mum.
Then can I speak to Marion Hartley? Hello, Marion, it's Inga. I need to speak to Richard. It's urgent, it's about his children. What? But why? What did he do? Where is he? I must visit him.
Something happened to Dad.
Is he all right?
Shh. Not Marion, not you. Please tell me everything. Where is he? I want to be with him. Yeah. Thank you. It is impossible, but your poor father's in prison.
Blimey.
They lock him up because he hit someone on the head.
Mum sounded really odd on the phone. I'm sure there's something wrong.
Well, if your stepfather hasn't come home, of course there is.
No, it was more than that. There's something she isn't telling me.
Well, did you ask her what it was?
No, I ran out of money.
You always do that with your mum.
So what? Why is that funny?
I thought maybe you didn't really want to talk to her.
Oh, and that's a joke, is it?
No. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Don't you have time for a cup of coffee?
No, I'd rather get straight home.
Shall we go out somewhere next week?
I don't know till I find out what's going on at home.
Shall I ring you? You still haven't given me a number.
I'm gonna be awfully busy, what with Mum and that reading list we got, and... Jamal, I'm sorry. I like you very much, but I think we should sort of give it a rest for a bit.
You don't want to see me anymore?
No, it's not that. I just want a break.
Is it because I said I was falling in love with you?
I just think we should see a bit less of each other, that's all. I mean next term as well. I think we should just be friends and see other people. I mean, it's too soon to get tied down, and if you're going to have an arranged marriage eventually, you ought to be making the most of your freedom.
Don't you dare tell me what to do! I've been useful and now it's over. I've served my purpose, that's it, isn't it? I've been an escort to your mother's party, so you didn't have to go alone, and you could make your old lover jealous. I'll let you show me how clever you're in bed so you can prove that everything was working properly. And now you want to get rid of me, don't you? That's it, isn't it?
Shh, Jamal, please, don't shout.
Why not? I can shout all I want. I'm not English, I'm not a hypocrite.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Don't you think I've got feelings too?
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm telling you now.
I knew there was something wrong on the phone. I just feel it's going to be all right.
Is that all you can say? You might spare a thought for Richard.
No, I mean both of them, of course. He's not hurt, is he? Can I see Felix?
Don't be bloody stupid. You and Elizabeth on either side of the bed. That's terrific.
But he might die.
I'd love him to die, only that won't help, Richard. Can you imagine how this has been for me, trying to pretend to Elizabeth I don't know why all this happened?
No, I see this is all my fault.
Well, you did have something to do with it.
I got rid of my baby. Isn't that enough for you?
You're lucky to be able to cry so easily. I wish I could. If you'd just left Felix alone, I'd still have a marriage.
Is that really how you see it?
Will you try looking at it another way? Hello? Oh, Brian. I see. Well, thanks for letting me know. And what happens now? Yes, all right. Yes, I will, yes. Thanks. Bye for now.
Who's that?
Richard's lawyer. Oh, don't worry, nobody's dead. There's no bail for Richard. They won't let him out. He's remanded in custody for another week.
Why?
Oh, they want him to see a psychiatrist. They think he's mad or dangerous or suicidal. God knows what they think. Oh, what does it matter? They just won't let him out, that's all.
I'm sorry.
Can we start again? I didn't like all that very much.
Can you open your eyes for me, Felix? Can you try? Has he woken up at all? Not yet, but we like to keep trying. Are you going to wake up for me, Felix? Can you squeeze my hand? Oh, well, maybe next time. Isn't that nice that he did it for you? I'll just go and get the doctor.
Oh, Felix. Your timing's wonderful. He's woken up. Good, I'm glad for you.
So, I brought you these.
Thank you. They're lovely.
I felt so happy I had to do something to celebrate. I mean, I could have just rung you up, but... How's Richard?
He's remanded in custody for another week and he won't see me.
I'm sorry. Look, Helen, about the other night, I said something I shouldn't have said, and I'd like to take it back. Can you just put it down to the stress of the moment?
Of course. It's all forgotten.
I still think there's something you're not telling me, but it's not what I said.
Honestly, I don't know any more than you know. It's something between the two of them. Men have their secrets too, you know, just like us.
I expect you're trying to protect me. But I'm a bit old for that.
Look, would you like to come in? I just made a cup of tea.
No, thanks. I'd rather get home.
Look, this is pointless. You know as well as I do it can't work unless I cooperate, and I'm not going to.
Why's that?
Oh, come on, please spare me that stuff. I cut my teeth on it.
Don't you want to get bail?
I've got nowhere to go, so what's the point of bail? I'm better off here.
You've left your wife, is that right?
You know all this stuff, so why ask me?
When did you leave her?
Oh, I don't remember last week, the week before, maybe 10 days ago. Ask her. She's sure to remember. She's very efficient. She probably made a note of it in her diary.
You sound very angry with her.
Yeah, I do have to get pretty angry with someone before I walk out on them, especially if I'm married to them.
And even angrier before you hit them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're brighter than I thought. Now you're getting there.
Did you want to kill your friend when you hit him?
No. But I hoped he was dead the moment after.
And now?
Now what?
What are you feeling now?
Pretty angry with you for asking all these bloody stupid questions.
Go on.
Well, isn't that enough for you?
I'm sorry, I'm not very experienced yet.
Am I supposed to feel sorry for you?
No, we all have to start somewhere, but I thought it only fair to warn you. Do you feel sorry for lots of people?
My line of work, yes, I do.
As well as feeling angry with them?
Sometimes.
And how do you feel about yourself?
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Sad, angry. You name it, I feel it. Quite appropriate, as you people would say. My life's an absolute shambles. I deserted my first wife and children. Now I've lost my second wife and my best friend. I think if you'd done all that, you'd feel pretty pissed off with yourself, too.
I think you're in a lot of pain. And I'd like to help you work through it.
Well, don't. That's how I got into this mess, trying to help people. And take my advice, go and take up a nice clean trade, go and work in a slaughterhouse, something like that. Somewhere you can see results at the end of the day.
God, you gave me a fright.
Yes, I scared myself a bit, too.
How are you feeling now?
Pretty weird. Did you know what I said when I first came round?
No, I wasn't here. Damn it.
Where am I? Isn't that humiliating? I think I could have come up with something a bit more original.
What are you going to tell the police?
The truth, of course. Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Or as much as it takes to make them leave me alone and go away.
What are you going to tell me?
Oh. Darling, not now. I'm very tired and I've had one hell of a crack on the head.
Your best friend tries to kill you, and that's all you can say.
We were larking about. It was a silly accident. Oh, come on, darling. Don't look like that. Not now. I'm trying to save my energies for the old bill. There's one thing you could do for me, though. You could get me moved to a private room. It was all right while I was out for the count, but now, dear God, there are people coughing and spitting day and night. I don't know how I'm going to get to sleep. It's impossible to get a drink around here. Really, hospitals are pretty barbaric places where they saved your life.
How did you get on with Jennifer Daly?
Who?
Your shrink.
She tried hard.
Don't be fooled by that little girl approach. She's actually quite astute. Mind you, between ourselves, I have trouble hearing what she says. Guess I can't keep my eyes off her legs. Now, with a bit of luck, we might get bail.
I don't want bail. I'm guilty and I ought to be punished.
Richard, that's not the right approach at all. And where would we all be if everyone took that attitude, I'd be out of a job for a start.
What's the worst that can happen?
Well, if they decide to go ahead but stick to assault with intent, you could wind up on probation. Yes, sorry about that. On the other hand, if they get a bit heavy, they might go for attempted murder. You didn't help yourself much with that statement you made. Just begging to be locked up. That's the way it reads. Of course, that might make them decide that you're a genuine nutter. And they'll keep you in indefinitely.
I often wish I was dead. Not in a suicidal way. I'm much too limp to do anything about it. But I do keep thinking how peaceful it would be.
Yes, well, try telling Jennifer that. She's very good on depression.
But surely if I don't press charges, you haven't got a case.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that, sir. The court doesn't have to proceed, but Mr. Murray can be charged on his own confession.
It's ridiculous. I'm the one in hospital, and if I don't want to make a fuss, why the hell should anybody else?
If you could just give us the facts, sir.
It was an accident. We'd had a few drinks and we were acting out a scene from my new book. I'd just finished it and I wanted to make sure that I'd got it right. So I said, come on, hit me. See how far I can roll on impact. I'm very keen on getting details. Absolutely correct.
Let's go on, sir.
Well, he couldn't do it. I mean, he's a really nice bloke and thumping people just isn't his style. So to get him going, I said something about fancying his wife. Or maybe it was his ex-wife. Or both. I really can't remember. But anyway, I made some stupid joke that obviously got him on the raw, and he hit me. If I hadn't have bashed my head on the edge of a mantelpiece, I'd be perfectly all right.
What time did all this take place?
I'm not sure. It was early evening, because Richard came straight from work. But he works long hours. I just rang my wife to say I might be having dinner with him, but I just got back from holiday, so I was fairly jet-lagged. I'd had lunch with my agent and 1 or 2 drinks, so I did not off before he arrived. I can't be sure of the time.
But do you think it was early evening?
7 or 8, something like that. Maybe later.
Was it dark?
I really can't remember. If I'd known I was going to have to describe the evening in such detail, I'd have paid more attention. Does it matter?
It was after midnight when your friend's wife called an ambulance.
Is it really?
So you've been lying on the floor of your flat for several hours?
I'll have to take your word for it. I was unconscious, so I really didn't notice time dragging.
If you could just bear with me, sir. I'm trying to establish what your friend did during those hours.
Perhaps you should try asking him.
Yes, we did think of that. But he seemed rather vague on the subject. Just wandered about, he said.
And that's what he did. He's extremely truthful.
So if he says he was hoping you'd die, we can believe him.
Certainly not. He's extremely truthful. But he's also very confused. He's under a lot of strain at home and work, and obviously something cracked. He's probably lost his memory or something, poor chap.
You do realize that the longer the interval between him knocking you down and calling an ambulance, the more it looks as if he wished you to come to some harm.
Well, I can assure you he didn't. He has a lot of marriage problems, and something must have flipped.
So your vagueness about the time wouldn't have anything to do with trying to protect him?
Rather more to do with the bump on the head, I'd have thought. But you're quite right. I am trying to protect him, not just because he's a friend, but because he's innocent. I think it's quite absurd that you've got him locked up, and I'd be happy to stand bail for him if necessary.
You're an extremely forgiving man, Mr. Kramer.
Not at all. I've known Richard for 20 years, and I value his friendship, and I'm not going to let a silly accident change that, and I'm certainly not going to testify against him in court.
Well, you can be subpoenaed to give evidence, you know, sir.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. It'd be a terrible waste of public money. Can I rest now?
Well, we've nearly finished, sir. Mr. Murray says you had a quarrel about a woman.
Wasn't that what I've just said?
But he didn't say she was his wife, or his ex-wife. In fact, he refused to name her.
Well, there you are. He's a perfect gentleman.
And he didn't mention acting out a scene from your new book.
I told you, his memory's probably not so hot. He has a lot of problems at the moment.
Mr. Kramer, what's your new book about?
A homosexual murder.
It was good of you to come. Yeah, I know. It's awful, isn't it?
Richard, what about Mum? She's so upset. Why won't you see her?
I've got nothing to say to her. I've said it all.
But she's in a terrible state. I have to cope with it.
I'm sorry. You're having a rotten time, aren't you?
How could you hurt Felix? How could you? It was between me and him. It was nothing to do with you.
God, Sally, don't you understand?
But it was none of your business. It was all over. God, it was private. It was 6 months ago. I mean, how could you go around that and hit him? How could you leave him there on the floor? He might have died.
Oh, Sally, I want to ask you something very important, and I want you to tell me the truth. Look, this is very difficult. I've done a lot of thinking in here, and I've really examined my conscience. I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I know you're angry with me, and you've got every right, but I want you to think back, and I want you to give me an honest answer. Have you ever felt that I wasn't like a proper father to you? I mean, have I ever made you feel embarrassed or uncomfortable, as if I was, well, I mean, have you ever felt that, what can I say, that I was lusting after you? Look, I'm sorry, but I really need to know. I mean, I'm not aware of it, but maybe I've suppressed it.
Right. No, I've never thought about it.
Then he was wrong. Only that's why I hit him. I mean, that's what Felix said. That I was jealous. Don't forget. I had to ask you.
You are just trying to put me off Felix, aren't you? I don't want to listen to that. You say it was my fault you hurt Felix?
I need to feel that I've got something right, and I would like it to be our relationship.
I knew you'd be here. I can't work, I can't do anything.
You will. Give yourself a chance.
Did you see Richard?
Yeah, he was a bit weird. He's very wrapped up in himself.
Did you have a message?
No, I'm sorry. Oh, come on, Mum. You've still got me. You've got all of this. Remember, there was only the two of us here for years and years. We managed.
I wish I could cry.
Keep trying.
Magdalene wants me to go to Jerome Ellis's to see those ghastly paintings I did for him.
They weren't ghastly, they're okay.
If you like that sort of thing.
You should go. Do you good. Take your mind off things.
Come with me.
No. I want to see Jackie and Maria.
Dirty little minds they've got, the police. I wonder if the job attracts people like that, or if they develop these tendencies on the job. As it were, it gives a whole new meaning to the boys in blue.
Why? What did they say?
I could have sworn they didn't believe my story. They more or less implied that Richard and I had a lover's quarrel. Imagine that.
What do you mean, story?
My statement about the accident.
Story sounds like fiction.
I may have tarted it up a little to put poor old Richard in a better light.
Helen once said you were like David and Jonathan.
What's that supposed to mean?
And David and Jonathan made a covenant, for he loved him as his own soul.
Fancy you remembering that. I really like being marked to a dictionary of quotations. It saves me looking them up.
Would it be dirty if it was a lover's quarrel?
No. Of course not. Just inaccurate. There's a certain pleasing symmetry about it, though. Poor old Tony Blythe gets murdered by brown-eyed Sebastian, and I get punched on the jaw by Richard. Serves me right for borrowing his eyes.
Yes, that's curious.
Only life imitating art. It happens all the time.
You see, Helen? What did I tell you? Don't they look great?
I'm glad you like them.
Wait till you see your painting in the John. Reckon that makes it the classiest John in the whole of Kent.
If we don't eat soon, everything will be spoiled.
Okay, Mario. Don't panic. Have another martini and relax. I want to sell Helen on the idea of doing a gigantic mural in our bedroom. A complete bacchanalia, Helen. How about that? And Dionysus, the whole shebang. How does that grab you?
It's kind of you to ask me, but I think you'd need a more representational painter for that.
It would be a very big job. Maybe Helen needs time to think about it.
Nonsense. It's more subtle if it's abstract. Half the people who come here can't tell one deadly sin from the other, and it sure makes a good talking point.
Don't listen to him, Helen. He just likes to make people do things they don't want to do.
Mario, don't you have something to do in the kitchen?
I think it would be a very challenging idea.
Take your time, Helen. I don't need your answer right now. There's nobody else I'm going to ask. I want a total look for this place.
Sounds urgent. I will get that.
Helen, I'm sorry to hear about your family trouble.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I can really empathize with you. Mario got himself locked up once, and I had a hell of a time getting him out.
Don't bother. Screw it. Don't believe him. It looks wonderful.
And I ain't sure it was worth it.
Hello? God, you've cut your hair.
Surprise. Do you like it?
It's wonderful. You look like somebody else.
That's the idea.
You've just missed Elizabeth.
I know. I rang up, I asked the nurse about visiting hours and what time Elizabeth usually comes, and I hung about outside till I saw her leave.
God, how devious you've become.
That's what 2 terms at Sussex does for you. And I think the nurse rather enjoyed feeling she was part of a plot, and it probably helps that you're famous. I always talk too much when I'm nervous.
Sally. It's lovely to see you. Come a bit nearer.
What happened? Did Dad get off?
I don't know. Lawyer hasn't rung me.
Didn't you go to the court?
He made me promise not to go. Your father didn't want me there.
Thought you'd go anyway.
No. I gave him my word.
They'll have to let him off, won't they? I mean, it's not as if he killed anyone.
Perhaps he has gone back to the cow.
Cheer up, Mum. Still got us.
Hello, Sally. Hello, I've just been to see Felix.
Yes, so I see.
Richard wanted me to see how he was.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, I think he feels guilty about what happened.
How's university?
It's fine. I enjoy it, and there's lots of new people. I'm having a really great time. Good. I better get home now.
Yes.
Right.
Hello, darling.
I got to this enormous champagne and I thought you might like them both for this evening. So I came back.
How lovely. Sweet of you. Thank you, darling.
And I ran into Sally.
Yes. She came to see how I was. I think Helen made her feel she ought to. She's a sweet child.
Well, that's it, really.
Don't you want to stay and have a drink?
I think I've had all I can take for one day.
You know, things aren't always what they seem.
And sometimes they are. Exactly that.
What time will you be in tomorrow?
The usual time, I expect.
If they want money, we don't have any.
Dad?
Don't get excited. I just want to stay for a while. Is that all right?
Richard. Richard.
Look, I don't know if this is going to work.
Oh, it'd be good. I want to know you.
Do you mind if I just go and sleep for a while? I'm very tired.
He got bail.
That's wonderful.
So where is he? Why isn't he here?
Give him a chance. He might have only just gone out.
No, no. It was this morning. The lawyer thought he would be here by now. Richard told him he was going straight home. Sally, what if he's not coming back?
We managed before without him. We can do it again.
He's not coming back, is he?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Chapter 1. She seemed to him like a miracle. He woke every morning and remembered her with joyous anticipation, as a child awakens on its birthday. He left the house with a sensation of thrilling unease and hidden wealth, like a man who has swallowed a diamond